All right. We are live. Hello, hello. Hello, Tamara. Hello, Sastro. Who else is here? Hello, Crixon. Hello, Ormanada. Hello, John. Hello, Namila. Thank you for the feedback on the thumbnails. Do I think there's a market for junior devs? Yeah, yes. But you need to build projects. Where is my... Oopsie. Hello from Uganda. System design. The only thing I know about in terms of system design is the system design primer, and it's a bit outdated nowadays. System design primer. Cross-plane V2. I don't know what cross-plane V2 is, so I'm not sure with that. Let's fix this up a little bit. Make the chat a bit bigger. How's that? What's this? Man, you content the nodes using Cilium. I haven't done anything yet. But what will be the direction of my channel? I'm going to learn here and I'm going to post what I'm learning. That's it. What level of projects? Something that just solves interesting problems. If you, either you or your friends or your family or people in your neighborhood have a problem that needs to be solved, so make something for them. Cross-plane framework. I don't know, because I'm still learning Kubernetes. Oh, actually, let me grab a beverage. One sec. All right. Great marketing stunt. Bro, give your opinion on Golang. I've given my opinion on Golang many times. US banned Fable 5. I don't care. I didn't use Fable. What you used to create the CNI? I don't know. Hey Dan, how's it going? What's crossplane? Yeah, we're it's the weekend, so FTX is closed at the moment. It's a control plane framework for platform engineering. Lets you build control planes to manage your cloud native software. So would this be an alternative to what I'm looking at here with Talos Linux? Okay. It extends Kubernetes. You build custom APIs. It's just to request cloud resources. Ah, okay. All right. Well, this is my plan. So far, what have we done? What I've learnt done so far. Why Pulumi? Just because I want to learn it, maybe. We'll see if it's painful. Um, is there a specialist team in Atlassian that looks after clusters? Yes, there's a Kubernetes team. Hello, Haas. Is this the Haas that I know? Why is Draco Malfoy your picture? It's Haas. Mechatronics Haas. You're surprised that I know you? Oh, then maybe you're not the Haas that I know. What was the problem the other day on port 6443? You mean when I had TCP timeouts? That was because we were creating an EC2 instance with ephemeral IP addresses, and it was being rebooted, and then it lost its public IP. Um, hello, hello. What does this Greek say? Χαίρετε από Κύπρο. Συνέχισε δυνατά? I don't know what that means. Why isn't it translated automatically? Oh, cheers from Cyprus. Nice. I can read Greek, but I have no idea what the words are. How about using Kubernetes to manage a cluster of Raspberry Pi? I don't know. Terraform? I don't like Terraform. I have a short about that. What else did we do? We did after this we did salt stack to bootstrap the EC2. Yeah. And then where did I get to? Oh yeah. Helm to install charts on the control plane. Who is the Haas person? Haas was my intern. Is this Vim? Yes, it's Vim. What are the glasses for? Blocking blue light and taking care of my circadian rhythm. More Greek text. Let me try to read this. Sfalma κατά τη μετάφραση κειμένου. I don't know what any of that means. What is it? Error while translating text. No, that's not. That can't be it. It doesn't translate to that. I read the Greek correct? It literally means that. Okay. Cool. So then, yeah, so this is what I've done so far. So we've had Kubernetes the hard way. And then I was creating EC2s, manually doing PKI. Let's call this like phase 1, phase 2. And now I think we're at phase 3. What do I think of the future of software engineering jobs? No change. I will keep the videos live. Yes. It's at $160. SpaceX? Oh, I'm not invested in that. How did I make Vim look like this? I don't know, man. It's NeoVim. I've just got some plugins. Check my GitHub. If I don't like Kubernetes, what are the alternatives? Terraform? CloudFormation and Pulumi, I guess. All right, so I think I have to start from scratch, basically. Yeah, I started streaming at 10 p.m. That's a good point. I can't say anything really, can I? My beverage of choice is sparkling mineral water. I mean, sparkling coconut water. Any recommendations for teams to join? I don't know. It depends what you like doing. Do you like Java? Do you like Golang? Or do you like Python? Do you like message queues? Do you like observability? Do you like back-end engineering? Front-end? security, human resources. What's in the README? Nothing in the README. All right, I'm going to keep the salt directory there. I think I'll keep the, let's just make old, move salt and move K80s into old. And then JavaScript single file, no comments on the back end. That's disgusting. .NET. I'm not aware of any .NET being used. Do you know good AI user can hack FFmpeg right now without seeing the... What? What are you talking about, dude? Can I summarize what I do? Solve problems. All right. We're going to get started on... So here's Talos Linux. We don't need this yet. I need to get started on Pulumi. What's the difference here? Kubernetes? Is this like you need access to a so the Kubernetes cluster is already existed. Okay, so we don't want that. Let's close down these things. What led to looking at Pulumi? Just because it's something I want to learn. So let's say, yeah, this role is correct. We're going to run on Ubuntu. We're going to configure the credentials. And then we're not going to do this, right? We are instead going to install and run Pulumi, I guess. Why Pulumi, not CDK? Because with Pulumi, I can deploy to any cloud. I don't know. Change chat drop down from top chat to live chat. Oh. Well, what if I don't want to see the spammy messages? All the anagrams and purpose-built libraries. What's your opinion on AI automation platforms like Make? I'm not familiar. What is Kubernetes? It's a universal control plane and a container orchestrator. So let's see. This is fine. This is probably fine. You can check my GitHub for my .files for my NeoVim config. So the Pulumi that we're going to do here is just going to create the infrastructure, and then we're going to use Argo CD to send over the what you call it, the stuff. I don't like Terraform. That's the advantage, is that I don't like Terraform. So access is already sorted. Why not an obfuscated bash script? You know, half the chat treats me like I'm an LLM. Has anyone realized that? So I think this is okay. I don't need this. Crying emoji? What's going on? Brother. SST that builds on top. I don't know what SST is. Pulumi. Okay, so I guess we should install this, huh? Learn Kubernetes, no mistakes. DevOps engineer here. I've never worked in a company using Kubernetes. Really? Most teams move to Azure Container App. What's that? I've never used Azure. Serverless containers. So basically, they just upload their containers and run them somewhere rather than run Kubernetes. Well, that product probably uses Kubernetes. You know. How did I learn to hide the creds? You'll have to be more specific about this question. GKE autopilot. Nobody has time to manage their own. Well, I'm curious to learn because I feel slightly uncomfortable with relying entirely on Google and Amazon to run Kubernetes for me. Like, is it so complicated that I can't run it myself? That seems crazy. What is it? Config fish. Pulumi login. I don't want cloud. Pulumi cloud. I don't want this. Am I going to do tutorials on self-hosted Kubernetes on something like Proxmox? No. Proxmox is a hypervisor. So it doesn't matter what machines you're working, you have. I might try to boil down Kubernetes into something simple. Still uses Kubernetes under the hood. It extracts away a lot of the layers. Bruv, what's with the caps? What do I recommend? Planning to go in the direction of building an LLM. Okay, learn machine learning and then build one. I don't know what recommendation you want. Like, I know nothing about any of that. Dun, 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 dun. What happens if I do this? Like, why? I don't want Pulumi Cloud. We'll sign in anyway. But what the hell is this? Personal project. Learning. Skip. Pulumi, it just always requires a login. So if I run this from GitHub Actions, it's not going to work. Okay, Pulumi is out. We're out. Okay, Pulumi is gone. Goodbye, Pulumi. Okay, we're just going to stick with CloudFormation then for the moment because we're in Amazon anyway. So let's just bring back this from the dead. And we'll just, let's just move this to... Isn't OpenTofu just Terraform? I don't like them. Access token and put it in the secrets. Nah. I'm not an Arch user. No, I'm not using Arch. Does this look like Arch? So we probably don't need that anymore. Let me think. Yes, it's Pop OS, correct. Okay, let's look at, this is giving us an example, Terraform. Let's just look at what this has. Variables, outputs, main, and then manifests with CCM. I'm guessing this allows the control plane to then provision resources. Variables, cluster name, CCM, which is a Boolean, version, control plane, which is the AMI ID, the number, patch files, blah, 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 worker groups. Thank you, Valorant Shorts, thank you. VPC CIDR, API allowed CIDR, Kubernetes API allowed CIDR. Yeah, I should start requesting like, if you want to know what my distribution is, you have to send like $1 donation. I'll be a millionaire by tomorrow. outputs, tells config, kube config. Okay, and then it has the main, which is doing. Let's pop that away. Is the Envoy deployment fixed? No. I'm going to do stuff differently. Oh. This is how differently we're going to do things today. So this is not happening. Probably just still going to use CloudFormation here. Then we're going to use Argo CD. Going to install Cilium. And then delete the other stuff. I've got a link on my channel for my keyboard. It's here in my links. Newfie. How do I reply? Keyboard is Newfie. Oh, it's too long. Okay, it's too long. Just, yeah, go to my YouTube channel and look for the Newfie link. It's a brown switch, yes. It's a Kick 75 with brown switches. You're a Cilium contributor. Very cool. Does it seem like a reasonable approach? Like, do you know, have you set up Kubernetes on your own bare metal or virtual machines before? And does this seem like a reasonable way to do it? Pulumi login local? Oh. Dang. No, I've never used eBPF. Okay, so maybe I should use Pulumi then. Let's see. Go. Let's do this again. Oops. Pulumi login dash local. All right, and then what is it? Pulumi new. Oh. Stack name. Just gonna call it default. Passphrase. Did that just show a character? No. Okay. You're funny. After seeing the words you use in your Dota 2, yeah. If you, by the way, you guys like Dota, right? How do I find my account? How am I going to find my damn account? What even is my picture? There's so many. Let's see. What is my picture on Steam? Oh well, don't worry about it then. I was going to show everyone that I have over 500 games of Chen. That's all. Let's see what happens if I type Pulumi up. It's going to just give me like... It's going to give me a bunch of authentication errors. Hold on, I have Steam here, right? So I should be able to see... Yeah, and then how do I get my... I'm curious about this now because I want to see my Dota buff stats. Is there a picture of King Leonidas? Or, what's his name? Skeleton King. No. How do you find by, like, ID or something like that? Yeah, I've got a VAC ban. Damn, guys, how do I find... Can I just sign in with Steam? Yeah. That'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Oh, I don't have 500 games of Chen. I only have 459. Trash. My highest rank was Ancient, but I fell very far. Look at this. Look at this. Disgusting. Anyway, back to business, guys. Back to business. We need the Pulumi AWS YAML guide. Create a new project. YAML. What's this? Example code in Pulumi.yaml. Let's see. One to create default, no valid credential sources. Yeah, that's expected. Pulumi? YAML? What's in here? Pulumi default. Oh! Bro plays Dota 2. No, I haven't played Dota in a while. So it's been a while since I played Dota. I'll show you the games that I play. How do I look at all of them? Yeah, recently. These are my recent ones. Create a yeah, this is going to try to create a bucket, but I don't want it to do that. Crypto mining? What do you mean crypto mining? I don't care about Mythos or Fable. Yeah, we got it bootstrapped and all that, but there was we're doing something different here. Okay? This is how we went. Phase 1, manual crap. Phase 2, we got it set up with CloudFormation, GitHub Actions, and SaltStack. I was having some problems with Helm, and it was shit. So now I'm thinking, from what I've researched and what I've gathered, it seems that Telos Linux is like the smart way to do this, and then just create some infrastructure, use Argo CD to do GitOps to pull in the configs, and Bob's your uncle. Convert to below me, please, thanks. Am I okay financially? Yes. How do I find that repos? What do you mean? Do we want YAML? Do we want YAML is the question. Or do we want Python? What does the Python code kind of look like? For Pulumi. Where is it? Pulumi Python example. We never want Python. True. Pulumi examples, let's see. Is this the Python examples or is this something else? Assume role YAML versus something else. Okay, this is nothing. Oh, that was C#. Okay. Python. Assume role. There's a YAML file here with a runtime. Am I planning on looking at Istio? Maybe. Maybe at some point. This seems crazy. Let's look at the YAML version. Where is it? Oh, there's like barely any examples here. Okay. Huh. Where's the Rust? These aren't sunglasses. Damn. Okay. Um. Okay. The TypeScript is recommended. Why? TypeScript. You know why TypeScript's probably recommended? So that you install npm and then you install some transient dependency and then you get hacked. That's why. They're playing the long con. Okay. I don't see how this is really different or superior to the Python version. So, what about Go? What about Go? Let's take a quick look. Why is my cursor abnormally big? Because I like being able to see where it is at all times. We're gonna go with Golang. We're gonna go with just that one. Flickering LEDs overhead with blue blockers. Flickering? My lights aren't flickering. What do you mean it's flickering? I have a solid light above myself. Yeah. So, yeah. Gonna put that below. We're gonna need the infra first, obviously. Then when it comes to picking AMI, we just pick the Telos Linux AMI. And then what's going to make most sense here? We probably need Argo CD before Cilium. All right. You reckon my light's flickering? Let me see this. I see no flickering. Maybe you're thinking of, because there's cars driving by outside. So these glasses are raw optics. All right, what's it doing so far? Room tour? No. Let's take a look at the Pulumi file that it has created. We've got 600 lines here. Okay. That kind of makes sense because did we get the Valheim server? No. I'm pivoting to creating the cluster differently. I think you always have to be a madman to learn Kubernetes on the internet. There's no alternative. Did my lack of education ever get pushed back on? No, never. So we're at Dior. This is what I've got planned at the moment. You have an interview about Kubernetes and EKS. Summarize the most important topics. Bruv. If you're trying to learn from me for your interview, it's already fucked. Good luck. How long did it take you to go from I want to learn programming to I'm ready to apply for a job in the field? How much time did you spend learning? I learned how to program on the job, and I can't remember. Maybe it took me a year or something like that, or less, maybe 6 months. Is this like an encryption key, guys? Encryption salt. This is for the secrets in the cluster, right? Go mod, yeah. Cool. Extract these. Some of this stuff you've never done. Do I think working for private tech companies is morally good for my mental health? I don't care. What do you mean? Morally good for my mental health? I don't understand the question. If I was a small medium business, I probably wouldn't use Kubernetes. Believe it or not, I know it looks like these are really dark or something, but I can see absolutely fine. So what do we got here? I moved a bunch of this stuff. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Deleted that. Modified this. That was a rename. Okay. Pivoting away from CFN plus GitHub Actions plus Helm plus Ubuntu, I guess. And then let me converting CFN to go. Why didn't I block the blue light from my screen via software? Because I have lights pointed at my face right now. So Matt Gosk, you're applying to a role that needs Kubernetes experience? I was thinking about this today. Like when someone says, I have Kubernetes experience, what does that mean? Like, does that mean they made EKS in Amazon and then they just send Kubernetes commands to it? Like, what exactly does it mean when someone says, I know Kubernetes? It means you Googled it once. Why could not import blah blah blah? Did it hallucinate the imports? Main. Okay. Are the imports good? Yeah, the imports are good. If you hear Kubernetes experience, you'd assume they would be on the team working with clusters and closely with DevOps InfoSec. That's what I would assume as well, but who knows, really? Hands-on experience with Kubernetes, Helm, kubectl, and so on. So, like running commands against a Kubernetes cluster which already exists. These are the questions that we should be asking, I think. This thing's still going. I really need like YOLO mode. Compliance experience, yeah, that would be something more specific. But see, the thing with compliance experience is you can't really practice that unless you run into it on the job. So, Terra Grunt stack. I don't want to use Bottle Rocket. Because I'm running specifically Kubernetes, not just any container workload. The picture in my YouTube live thumbnail, it's from somewhere in Australia. I can't remember exactly. You guys reckon that medium is better? Medium effort? Okay, well, he's finished now. Updated runtime, initialized Go modules, implemented the defs, and updated this as completed. Well, that's very confident. Verified that it builds. I like the fact that I can build it. I'm glad I chose Golang, actually. Pulumi migration report, I don't care. So, has anything changed here? It changed a few things. Let's just... When hiring at my workplace, the Kubernetes experience we want is mostly the ability to troubleshoot small common issues, such as pods stuck pending, image pull back off, crash loop back off, and Helm errors. We also want them to be able to, when given a working Kubernetes cluster, the ability to deploy services, such as local storage provisioner, internal service with a given Helm chart, and be comfortable with kubectl. Well, that's interesting because doesn't that just point to weaknesses in the architecture of the Kubernetes cluster that you have? Like, how do I say this? It's not necessarily that people set it up wrong, but I guess I'm at that stage of learning where I'm trying to figure out, is there a way to set up Kubernetes to lower these maintenance burdens? Because they seem to be kind of bad. Like in some ways inferior to just running EC2 servers. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You own a development agency and would love my opinion if Fable will return a ROI. I have not used it, but so far the economics of using Fable and Mythos seem really bad. Have you seen how much it costs to use it? Like right now, I think every developer could get away with just using something like Sonnet 4.6. What are people doing out here that is so like demanding that they need these ultra thinking agent loops? You know what I mean? It increases gross margins by 5 to 10%. But that's a percentage, so I guess it depends. Like, how much money are we talking? I don't think it replaces a human sitting down, thinking about what do my customers want? What is going to produce so much value that they just want to hand over cash plus Sonnet 4.6? Private IP. Okay, so it fixed these issues by reading the docs. That's fine. What do I think about Apple hardware? It's good. I like Apple Silicon. It's good. Agent would have rewrote Pulumi from scratch by now, for sure. Make no mistakes. Who am I with? Talos, Linux, AP, something. I'm actually gonna. I have it here. Where is it? Talos, Cloud Images, Releases, GitHub. The most telling thing about these big models like Opus is that nobody can name a single revolutionary product. Yeah, literally. HVM. Are they non-HVM? They all HVM? Is this going to be expensive? ARM and AMD. We're going to go with AMD, I guess. Keep it simple. Fable has been amazing with helping BPAs, business process analysts, like looking at alternatives to solutions. I am worried about the analysts. Why are they in a job if they're not analyzing with their own brains? Talos and my control plane worker launch template. So right now we just have one control plane. We've still got this bootstrap happening. I think I get rid of the salt bootstrap because Talos doesn't need it. Why so much change? Yeah. Well, I thought about it, right? In terms of like Kubernetes came out in 2014, right? So at the start, there would have been all this manual shit happening. And then somewhere in the middle, someone decided to make kube ADM. And then these days, it's Talos. You're meant to use Talos. I mean, you're not meant to, but it seems like the way to go. And why Pulumi? I just want to learn Pulumi. That's all. Let me see. Cool. By the way, I don't think we need the video anymore. My Fable agent was really close to figuring out how to turn lead into gold. It was nearly done before Donnie pulled the plug. Damn, dude. That sucks. If I can't find myself a job in IT, what do you think I should find? Something else to make money. Uber. What else? I don't know. Become a YouTuber and an Uber driver at the same time. Were all deployments at Atlassian monitored by humans? Not all, but some. Some of them, yeah. I seem like a funny, badass character. I don't know, man. I'm just me. You teach tennis. Damn, that's cool, man. Yeah. Learn golf and then be a golf coach. That sounds like big money. Mac OS. They use Mac OS in Atlassian. Um, any. Ew. I thought Golang was typed. Am I allowed to talk shit? I mean, I don't really have negative things to say. That, let's say, if you worked in any place, there's always problems, right? So I don't think there's anything really specific to Atlassian that is particularly negative. It's just the nature of working is that sometimes shit happens. So we're doing Pulumi Go. We need to go back, don't we? Pulumi, AWS, Go, begin. We're past this. Thank you for the compliment. We've created our project. We've gotten past this. The thing we want to do now is probably, what's this? It's like deleting the parameters. Why? Why is it deleting the parameters? Because of, why? Removed user data. Config is gone. Because we will use idle cd to go in the configs. Infra as code part now, drop here about 5 minutes ago. Why not Python? I wanted something more typed than Python. Golang seems good because when you build it, it's all type checked. I don't know. What is going on now? I'm not sure. We're going to use Argo CD. Haskell. Yeah, all my infrastructure as code is written in Haskell. When I first entered tech, did I feel like an imposter by looking at others knowing more than me? That still happens. I'm in touch with many people from Atlassian, and like a lot of people have reached out to me, tons. But not to rehire me, if that's what you mean. What did it say? Yes, exactly. With Talus, we no longer need the VMs to clone Git repo. Okay. Okay, edit the GitHub actions to use Pulumi to set up info. Would I ever start my own business? I would actually. I sort of have some ideas there that I maybe I'll try them at some point. We'll see. Where can you learn DSA? Neatcode.io. Tell us SaaS. Yeah, it would effectively be a SaaS. Then these glasses are not anti-glare, it's just for the blue light. That's all. Setup Go. Run Pulumi up. Oh, that's cool. Pulumi access token. The Pulumi. The local. Hello, Easy Money Damn Sniper. Cool name. Am I learning Pulumi after that clip with Terraform? I was having a chat with Gemini about like doing Kubernetes in a better, more modern way, and Pulumi was suggested, so I figured I'd give it a crack, and it seems okay so far. Seems kind of cool. Config passphrase. Config passphrase. Oh, okay, yeah, I understand this. So we don't even, okay, they've even got a GitHub action for running Pulumi. That's cool. Now, do I get distracted? Yeah. Yeah, the chat is extremely distracting. So we have the policy for assuming the role. We have a instance role. We have the cloud provider policy doc. I can't remember what that's for. New role policy. Wait. It's for the instance role. Instance profile, and then that's being given to the both of them. So they can do all these things. Describe auto-scaling groups, describe all the EC2 stuff, create some stuff. Create tags, blah, blah, blah. How am I going to manage profiles? I've heard of Carpenter, but I don't know what it is. Oh, TTS, so I don't have to read. Yeah. That's a fucking great idea. How do I actually do that? TTS for YouTube chat. Oh, wait, this could get out of hand, right? It could get really badly out of hand. It's just going to be talking to me the whole fucking time. I'll look at this later. I'll look at that later. So we've got the instance profile. That's cool. We're creating a VPC. So this is basically going to do what we already sort of had before. Create the routes. security group, parameters. Well, let's just give this a crack and see what happens. Pulumi, take the wheel. Yeah, I have a 4K monitor, yes. Why are you mentioning that? I have the Samsung Viewfinity 37-inch. Okay. So let me take the wheel. Updated version of System Design Primer? I'm not aware of any. No stack default. Oops. No stack default. Why? Carpenter will right-size your node groups based on workload. You do have to define which instance types you want to use, but it's great tech. Interesting. I'm not at that stage yet. Did Theo throw hate at me for my video? He criticized my microphone placement. That was it. As far as I know. And then he followed it up. I think after he watched the video or something, he followed it up by saying that I seem like a competent engineer or something like that. So, yeah, seems okay. Upsert equals true. Why? When logging into a local backend on an ephemeral GitHub runner, the environment starts with an empty state and no stacks. Oh. Is that so? Is the text too small? Is the text too small? Okay. Because it's massive for me. Mobile user? Okay. That's fine. You joined a company, feel it has stunted your development. Well, that's a problem. You need to either find something that's going to challenge you or leave. Okay. Settings. Pulumi config passphrase. What gets me motivated to do things like this? It's interesting for me. I like it. Pulumi config passphrase. All right. Chat, please don't look at my passphrase. Is this valid? Is that a valid passphrase? AI makes the learning new things so much easier. Yes, It does. Am I Greek? Yes, but I was born in Australia. C#.net? I don't know. Live chat reply feature. Agents make learning for my agents so much easier. Yeah. Passphrase, incorrect passphrase. Oh, I actually have to put the passphrase that I committed to Git. Which means I just have to hide this for a second. Apparently I have to use GitHub Mobile to approve it. Okay. No one saw anything. What time is it? 11:30 p.m. Am I using Vim Pack? I can't remember. No, I'm not using Vim Pack. Have I tried MCP? No, I just let the harness do that for me. I'm a big fan of like just smooth, intuitive UX. Look at this. I think it's doing stuff, guys. I think stuff's happening. Where's my stack? Why did I choose Ghosty? Because I think it's cool. It's written in Zig, and I think that's cool. And it's nice. Where's term is nice too. It is pluming, apparently. What the fuck's it doing? My workload is similar to yours with backend DevOps. Should I get MacBook Air or Pro? It depends. Are you writing Rust code? If you're writing Rust, get the Pro. If you're not, get the Air. I didn't use LazyVim. I just wrote my NeoVim config from scratch. Finish compiling. Missing required configuration variable. Keep a name. Config set. Blah blah blah. I don't need the key pair, do I? Oh, I think I do. Okay. Oh. I don't know the syntax, so I'm gonna just copy this and give it to Gemini. You can use the key pair name. What was it? Cube World. It was like something stupid. Key pairs. Cube World, except it works this time. Stupid name. I want to get into a software engineering role for a Fang Plus company. I've never worked in a Fang, so I don't know. Hydro Blade. Why does Rust by itself warrant Pro? Yeah, because it's the compiler is it does a lot. What makes you use Salt over Ansible? Just because I am more comfortable with Salt. I've used it more. Wait a sec. What's this? Cube stuff, key pair name. Oh, that's cool. Key pair name. Oh, so it's doing a default. I don't. My NeoVim config is on GitHub. What IDE? This seems reasonable. Set keeper. I've never used Java. Share my Bitcoin passphrase. No, I can give you my Bitcoin address, and then you can send me Bitcoin. Question for the chat. Music or no music? I wonder if I should play music on my streams. You know what? Later, I'm going to do a poll. And we'll see the results, because... Okay, it seems to be mostly people want music. I'm going to do a poll later to see what the actual percentages are. And then I'm going to ask... I'm going to get people to comment on the poll. Actually, let's do it now. Where's my stuff? YouTube posts. Text poll. Music, please. No music, please. Go. Is it deploying? I feel like it's probably run into another issue. Yeah, I like instrumental music, typically. Oh, it's doing the Palumi dance again. Oh, it's doing stuff. It's doing things. Is this made by Palumi? No song requests. If I do music, it's only going to be Suno, and it's going to be stuff that I generate because I have a commercial license. I'm more of an infrastructure engineer, less software, but I like software a lot. So, okay, we have some machines. The interesting thing here, okay, so, cool, it's deploying. Please add a GitHub action. Manual trigger only for deleting the stack in case anything goes. I don't really play sports, no. I go to the gym, but I'm inconsistent. Why Pulumi, not Terraform? Because I wanted to learn Pulumi. That's why. So this is green. So we use Pulumi to create the infrastructure. So now what we need is for... Never understood how people can feel comfortable writing software without also thinking about the infra where it's going to be deployed. I agree. Yeah, I agree. So I think we don't really need to follow the rest of the Pulumi guide. But what we do need is to follow the Talos Linux guide now. Need to check your dot files. Yeah. A few people have asked. So in case you don't know, my GitHub is linked on my YouTube channel. And my dot files are in my GitHub account. And in here you can see my NeoVim. I've got just an init file, which loads in a bunch of different Lua files in a particular order, and that's it. My plugins, the main ones, Telescope, NeoGit, Key Menu, and just LSP, and that's it. That's all you need, really. You don't need anything fancy. Fuzzy Finder, language server, Git integration. What else do you need? What am I using for agentic? I just use anti-gravity. A physics lecture. So we have all these resources. Yeah, we got all this. We have the Talos AMI. Now we need a bucket. Okay, there's quite a few steps here. So what's going on here exactly? We've got a bucket, VM import role. Ensure that the VM import role exists. Bunnings Run. Is it like a predefined role or something like that? Policy VMM. This thing, is it? Get rid of this. Create the VM import role. In order to create an AMI, ensure that the VM import role exists as described. Is that what it has? AC2. JSON, let's see. It doesn't have all of that. FL Studio versus Ableton. I don't know. What am I doing? We're setting up Kubernetes. We've got some machines here. but they're currently not running Kubernetes. So it's slightly problematic. Create image snapshot, download the image from image factory, then download, describe snapshots, register the image. We now have an AMI we can use to create our cluster. All right. Let's just why can't I use AWS CLI with Claude Code to do these things? Because I want to know what the fuck I'm setting up. IAM access if used to get a role for specific. Why use cloud? Why not learn it locally? I don't know. That sounds annoying. That sounds more annoying. Then I'd need a bunch of hardware sitting around. I don't have that at the moment. They have to have a certain amount of like RAM to run, right? As far as I understand. La 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 la. Yeah, I need a whole lab, right? I need a rack to set up Kubernetes, don't I? Why is the bucket needed? Why plus VM import plus snapshots? Main thing I just don't understand is what's the is it still going? Holy shit, it's still going. Are you answering his question? Is this what I do at Atlassian? No. Just use the default. Huh, okay. Create. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm an idiot. This whole section, I can skip it. So we go security group. We already have that. Load balancer. I don't think we have. It's used for the API endpoint. So, okay. All right. Wait. The Kubernetes API endpoint. And also the Talos API endpoint. Do I use AI while learning? Yes. Can add that to Pulumi, but I want it to be open to anything, and for the GitHub runner to ad hoc open the security group for this as the terms. What's the specific purpose I'm going to use Kubernetes for? I'm just learning it. I'm not. Once I'm comfortable, I'm going to delete the whole thing. I am Greek, yes. but born in Australia. What's my methodology of using AI while learning? The same as if I was talking to someone like a friend who knows stuff about the topic. But in this case, also, I'm getting anti-gravity to write stuff for me. Not related to Kubernetes, what advice do I have for someone who's looking to switch companies for the first time from junior to mid? What's the hesitation? Cool thing with Talos is you can replicate it locally. What do you mean by replicate it locally? Hello, Kalimera. Pretend I'm senior. Why Gemini? Just because I have a Pixel phone, so I've got a free subscription. That's all it is. I really don't see a big difference like between the models for me personally. Some people do, I do not. Description security group for Kubernetes API server load balancer. No ingress rules by default will be opened ad hoc by GitHub Action Runner. Yeah. Yeah. Why did it change this to say SSH? We don't want SSH anymore. Okay. Cool. By the way, we don't want SSH anymore. This is doing some stuff where it's getting its own IP address, then it's opening the security group, and then it is steps.pulumi outputs. Oh, that's nice. And then it is doing cluster deployment placeholder ready to configure. Why is it doing that? Add bootstrap cube. Okay, that's fine. And then closing the security group. Yeah. Development advice, please. Yes, here is your development advice. Why am I learning it? Kubernetes? Because lots of people like to use it, and I want to understand why. College doesn't teach anything. It teaches you, hopefully, how to think. Look within, is my advice. Look within. Who won the music vote? Let's see. No music won. There's only 32 votes though, so let's give it a little bit longer. Okay, what's this doing? Removing the key pair. Cool. What's this one doing? Yeah. Open, add NLB and open for Cube API server. And this is remove SSH entirely because you tried Kubernetes, so you've put it in your resume. That's how you do it. Side quest? Yeah, it's a side quest. Target group. Yeah, so we have a target group, and it is targeting an instance. Who's the instance? Target group attachment with the control plane ID. That's cool. Yeah, you can check my CV on my blog. Go to my frequently asked questions page and you'll find it. This is Golang. Are they from Morocco? Hello from Morocco. DevOps is the developer logistics, software logistics. Were you in the stream yesterday? What's this goal thing? Super chats. Oh. Super chats, huh? Okay. What was the next thing we needed to do? Why'd these fail? These failed for some reason. Parameter already exists. Put parameter. Creating parameter. Okay. Let's look up hold on. Illumi, Golang, SSM, GoDoc. Here, right? Do not do this, okay? Do not do this. Tokyo Spliff. What's that? Get SSM parameter. New parameter? No, it's not in here. SSM parameter. New parameter. How's life since I got laid off? I don't know. I've been having fun. New parameter, encrypted string, basic example, create parameter, niche game dev streamer, spliff. He taught himself game dev? That's cool as hell. He taught himself game dev. This guy's my hero. OpenGL Vulkan. Piano. Is he shooting the piano? Oh. That's cool. Nice. DevOps is a sysadmin who failed to become a software developer. That's interesting because DevOps shouldn't even be a role title. I'm not in Tasmania. Look up existing. So I want to overwrite. Let's see. Overwrite. The override argument makes it possible to overwrite. Oh, well, there you go. Where is the overwrite parameter? It's just a bool. So like sick, true. Palumi.bool. Is this how you do it? Is that it? Call of string ref can be simplified. Okay. These things again? What was it? Fix problem with existing SSM program. This is Golang. Because of you, I discovered Envoy. I start doing lab of load balancer proxy and rate limiting. That's cool, man. Good job. Quality body doubling. Got a lot of work done while having your stream on. What do you mean body doubling? What do you mean? This is NeoVim. NeoVim. .12 apparently. There's a new update out. Build something on live. I will after I get comfortable with Kubernetes. You use VS Code? I used to use PyCharm. And then I switched to NeoVim. And I've never looked back. Lego piece 98989. Very cool. What? I have undiagnosed ADHD. Probably. Are you... Body doubling is when you have another person in the same room. It helps motivate people. Primogen will be proud of me for using NeoVim. I don't think he cares that much, does he? Access denied. User is not authorized to perform. Describe target groups. Okay. GitHub. Where is it? GitHub Actions. What was it? GitHub Actions. Kube GitHub Actions Runner. Kube. Oh, it's this one. And then the policies. Yeah, they don't allow elastic load balancing. Have you guys noticed that I have not once made any complaint about the the Amazon console? No one's asked me, like, how is that even possible? You've just silently noticed without saying anything. This man is using the Amazon interface without complaining? Instance role. Why are there so many? Am I planning to apply to AWS? No. Actually, I had the opportunity to do so, and I kind of wasn't very responsive with it, you know? I wasn't too keen. Is it this one? No. Yes, it's this one. We can just do a rerun, I think. Oh, it failed? It probably failed on something completely different. YouTube silenced your comment. So Pulumi failed because the maximum number of VPCs has been reached. No. What? How many do I have? Oh. Why did it create so many? Okay. What have we got here? All right. Pulumi is creating new VPCs on every run. Not important. Nope. Oh. I need a bucket. Oh, I understand. It's exactly the same as Terraform. Right? Make it separate. So you can stack similar to the GitHub one for the buckets. Deployment. Actually, add, Where am I storing Pulumi state? Nowhere. That's the problem. Yeah, it can do anything it wants with S3, so upsert destroy. Why? We're not going to use Pulumi to create the bucket. We're going to use just the Amazon command line to do it. Are these doing something different? Create bucket, region, blah, blah, else region. Why near Vim? Why not near Vim? Added a step to create it if it doesn't exist. Passes the bucket name from the secret. Why don't I write it myself? The Pulumi stuff? I want to get it working first and then I can review it. It runs AWS S3 API head bucket using blah, blah, blah to check if it exists. Bash, Pulumi backend URL. So we need an S3 URL. And it is going to use regex in Bash? Is that a thing? Wow, that's a thing. Holy shit. Yeah. Am I implementing GitOps? That's the plan, yeah. Sure, S3 bucket. Have I tried Zed? Only a little bit. Not enough to have an opinion. Remote internships. I don't know. That doesn't sound realistic. Trying out Fast API. Can I suggest a good project? Remake Gmail from scratch. Oh, something going wrong? We're buffering? It's YouTube. It's not me, guys. Uh-oh. We've got some drop frames. We've got a lot of drop frames, but it's not incrementing, so I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna go with Argo CD. Now what were we doing? We want to see what this course is like for what are the boundaries? I don't understand the question. So now, oh shit. Skipping. Hold on. Close that. Where was it? This should be an error. Exit 1. So we need to do Pulumi backend URL. Okay. Settings. Secrets, actions, new Pulumi backend URL. S3 kube. Wait. Kube Pulumi state. Is that even sufficient? What's the regex say? Yeah. Why Argo instead of Flux? Just because I've heard Argo mentioned more often than Flux. That's why. Invalid S3 URL is... Can you start your career as a platform engineer? I don't see why not. Home lab server. I have some hardware, but it's neglected. And also, I need to somehow delete all this crap that I made. Delete. Because of the lack of state tracking, I made a dumb amount of VPCs. And I think this one I can't delete because I need to go kill these things. Instances, network interfaces. Terminate all of these. Skip, kill. Am I still keen for OCaml? Yes, I am. It's in use by the instances. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be gone soon. People with ADHD gravitate to functional safe languages. Well, OCaml was really hard for me, to be honest. I do like Rust, though. Dun, 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 dun. This is going to say maximum number of addresses. Okay. How are the instances still like? Be gone, please. What was it? Elastic IPs. We want to disassociate these. Release. Anything that wraps me like a burrito is good. No target groups. We got a few security groups here. 3. Is that one for each AZ or something? Maybe get rid of this. An instance and a network interface. Volumes. Got some volumes hanging around. Are these like throughput 10 gig? I think these are can be deleted. Recycle bin. Yeah, I probably can delete them all with a script. Oh, these are getting cleaned up by the instances being terminated anyway. Network interfaces. Cool. All right. We are okay. Let's rerun this. Is it doing stuff again? Let me see. S3. Thinking of cost implications of spinning up on local Ubuntu. How's everyone working out? Let me state. Illumi. Stacks. All right, we've got some stuff in here now. Some stuff. So now it shouldn't like... Why do I still have 2 VPCs in here though? Oh, one of them was not deleted. Resource map. IGW. Unable to delete. Oh well, I'll clean this up later, I suppose. Hunting down resources because we avoided Terraform. I would have had the same issue with Terraform because I didn't store state, right? So Terraform would have just gone and created things over and over again. Same deal. I'm just, I usually use CloudFormation and it just handles everything getting deleted, and that's usually nice. So Pulumi's doing stuff at the moment. Why can we prepare PRD document? What's a PRD document? I honestly, at this stage, I don't see the difference between Pulumi and Terraform. I actually don't see the difference. Kamal deploy. I haven't heard of that. Kamal deploy. Oh. It's made by DHH, is that right? Oh, cool, cool. Should I watch this? How long is
Kamal's
it?
a tool.
Half an hour? No. I'm not watching that. I'll watch it another time. Okay. Launch template. Already exists. Okay. Where are they? It's here. Yeah, I completely missed it. What else would I have? I would have target groups. I already cleaned those out. Auto scaling groups. I already cleaned those out. Is this going to be a problem? Let's rerun. Failed jobs. Just delete my account. Not a bad idea. Where have we gotten so far? We have done this. I'm not marking that until, and is it bootstrap it hitting API. Will I have something in place to monitor my costs? No. There's already a limit in the billing. It's like over $100 or something like that. State file that I need to append and remove the resource. No, because we introduced the state file and I just had to clean some of the orphaned resources that just they happened to be there because of the earlier runs. This is green now. So now we have set up all the infra that we had before. Yeah, and it opened the security group. And now we just need the commands. Was it here? So we've got a load balancer. Machine configuration files. We will create a machine config patch. You can create additional patches using the DNS name of the load balancer. Right. This one. What kind of load balancer is this? Network load balancer. Okay. That's its DNS name. Okay. All right. And I'm guessing we can't hit it on 443 because I intentionally made the security group closed. Scan GitHub for creds. Use these donations to learn Kubernetes. Yeah, they're out there. They are out there for sure. So we want to do something like this. Gen config, hit the load balancer, create EC2 instances. What does that mean? Oh, we've already done this. We've already done this. Export the Talos config file. So command sent will be authenticated. Okay. We're at the point now where to write the Talos bootstrap commands. Yes, it will affect my AWS bill. Yes. Oh, we've already got the DNS name here. That's cool. So what do we want to do? We want to set up Argo CD. What's the bootstrap exactly? Terraform or Pulumi are run and save a state file. Cross-plane is continuous reconcile resources. So if you delete a bucket, it will spawn again instantly. Interesting. The madman part of learning Kubernetes on the internet is the on the internet part. Like a person that was sane would learn it in privacy, you know. NAT gateway. I don't have a NAT gateway. There's no NAT gateway. All the instances have ephemeral public IP addresses, with the control plane having an elastic public IP address. So that's fine. We don't have any NAT. I'm just trying to think what the next step is here. Apparently there's a bootstrap step. Machine configuration. I go gym, yes. Not right now, but yes, occasionally I go to the gym. Search the web. Okay. User data? No, 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 no. There is no user data. This is where we're at the moment. I think this is not bad, considering that like we completely pivoted from CloudFormation to Pulumi, and had to just sit around waiting for CI to do its thing a bunch of times. Let's see. So we got this for the opening the firewall. It's now downloading Talos CTL, and then it is doing all this stuff. Point your agent at the to-do list. Gen config kube cluster with the load balancer DNS. Then wait for control plane node TLS API. Then apply machine config. Wait for Talos on the worker nodes. Really? You're off. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for the jokes. I'm probably gonna end things quite soon anyhow. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see, what's it doing here? It's checking that the ports are available, and then it is applying configs directly to the workers. Okay, I'm gonna question this. Then it's doing config node, config endpoint, sleeping for a while, bootstrapping. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask about this. The script is hitting the workers directly. Sorry. And need to have that on every deploy, or is this just set up and then Argo will from there on? I've never heard of Backstage. This is anti-gravity. Let's see. Is hitting them directly best practice? No. If an ASG, in an ASG, workers can be replaced. Right. So instead, we should be passing encoded worker YAML into the EC2 in the template. In Pulumi, Talos automatically reads this config at boot time and configures itself. Does it need to happen on every deploy? Configuring the OS is a one-time operation per node. Once the node joins Kubernetes, Argo takes over and manages stuff. It cannot manage the Talos OS config. Running Bootstrap is a one-time operation. If you run it on an already active control plane, it will return an error. To make your pipeline idempotent, move the things to user data. To generate the configs declaratively. Check if the config exists. Yeah. Backstage. So if I search this, it's going to show me something. This one? This one. Open source framework for building developer portals. We didn't really use anything like this inside Atlassian. It was all through Git. Mern stack. I don't like Mern stack because it's 3 different types of JavaScript, and I think that's insane. Let's see. So it's going to read from, it's going to try to grab the Talos config from the bucket. Then it is, otherwise it's going to generate a Talos config. Then it is going to apply it to the control plane. It's still doing this stupid step here, which I totally disagree with. At the start, it checks if Talos config is already in the bucket. It downloads it. It bypasses it, applying it to work in. It bypasses the configure generation. If it doesn't exist, it applies it to the control. You just said that the workers are in an ASG and direct apply is bad. Use user data. Right? Did it not just say that? Anyway. Opus 4.8 to do this shit. Last time I used Opus 4.8, all it does is write poems. Millions of them. Yes, I could use Pro. I could potentially do that. Maybe. I'm not desperate, guys. We're doing fine here. Gotta have some patience, you know? Dynamically patch machine configs with resolved LB endpoints. Placeholder. Replace with blah 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 DNS name. What is the issue? I don't know. We're trying to bootstrap a Talos Linux instances. Base 64 data. Config template. Where is it getting the config template from? Base 64. Worker config. API server. Apply template. Do I use anti-gravity? No, they have their own harness. Where is this worker YAML file? Wow. I don't like what it's doing, to be honest. This all seems a little unnecessary. What's it trying to do here? It's trying to load the file as YAML. Okay, go ahead. TLSCTL is installed first. Check the files. Yeah, I don't like how it's doing all this like S3 file management. It seems kind of gross. Is this really how people do it? I thought Talos was meant to be this cool thing that you set up. I gotta tell you guys, I'm so disappointed with Kubernetes. Like, I've been really trying to just give it the benefit of the doubt, but it just seems like an overcomplicated, clunky, over-engineered mess. Works fine if you use it right. Yeah, if you get all the bootstrapping done and you just... I could do it all manually, but like... Why? Oh, open code? Oh, okay. You were talking about open code. Yeah. Kubernetes the hard way was horrible. Like, let me look at that again. Kubernetes the hard way, right? I just want to see, when was this written? Like, when was the last update? It was updated last year. So people are still reading this. Ew. Okay. Let's update the little to-do here. All right. So phase 3. This step here, right? Like, let's write. Apparently, Talos Linux needs some once-off bootstrap. And so do each of the workers. But let me just wrap this for a sec. But they depend on the control plane having been bootstrapped. So some kind of state has to live somewhere to indicate that the control plane is ready. And only then can the workers be bootstrapped? Or do we just ignore errors when we try to bootstrap them again? Also, the state required doesn't seem managed by Talos CTL. And what else? Like, and by the way, it sells itself as like fully API managed, immutable. Guys, it's immutable. Trust me, it's immutable, but you have to bootstrap it. Bootstrapping mutates it. No? It's immutable, but you have to set it up first. Then what's immutable? And for some reason, if I bootstrap the workers and then I create another worker, there has to be state somewhere to bootstrap it. But it's immutable, guys. Cat to do wrap and then right. So what's he done now? In a second, we're gonna get hit with your right to question this. Your right to push back. In like 20 seconds. Okay. Just ignore the changes that it's trying to do. So you don't bootstrap the worker nodes. So then how do they know what control plane to talk to? It's giving me a fucking mermaid graph. Yeah, I understand what it's trying to do. It doesn't need to explain this to me. But like, okay. The S3 solution is clunky and over-engineered. Isn't Talos supposed to solve these kinds of problems? Did I apply the worker config with the correct control plane endpoint? But you just said that you don't have to bootstrap the worker nodes? It really does make you think with how much managed kube services abstract away. Why would people choose to do it the hard way beyond just getting the knowledge you'll probably never use? Well, if it's that's the thing, right? If managed Kubernetes is so attractive and hard to set up, which I'm experiencing, then doesn't that makes it a valuable service, right? So in theory, I could rent a few racks all around the world, and then once I figure out how to set up Kubernetes and manage it myself, that means that I could sell managed Kubernetes on bare metal machines and make it possibly much cheaper than someone else. Hmm? Blah, blah, blah. Split state, Pulumi. Talos is designed to handle this. It deliberately does not have an automatic bootstrap to prevent split brain scenarios. Right. Therefore, it requires an external entity to point at exactly one control plane. And then the others join it. But like, okay. So, oops. So let's just say that you had basically it needs to be like this, where you've got ASG, ASG, and then you've got worker and control plane, right? And you could have an arbitrary number of them in here. You cannot bootstrap any of these. You cannot bootstrap any of these. You must create a separate control plane that is just direct EC2, bootstrap this one, and then everything else has to join this one. Right? Am I understanding? Blah, blah, blah. Idiomatic solution, Pulumi Talos provider. Really? We can define the cluster config declaratively, generates the secrets once, stored in the state file, then it generates the control plane and worker configs using the load balancer DNS name. Then it triggers the bootstrap command once on the control plane. Because it's in the state, it tracks if it's already been bootstrapped. Yep. Pulumiverse, Pulumi Talos. Pulumiverse, Pulumi Talos. Is that a real thing? Or has that been hallucinated? It looks real. I have to correct you there because you're saying you only need to bootstrap one of the control planes in the ASG. That I don't think so because this can be terminated. Like let's say you bootstrap this one. It can get terminated. These will move up and then this one gets created. And now these have never been bootstrapped. So who are they joining? Or do you mean that if this one gets deleted, right, and a new one gets created, that it just joins these others somehow? Like they carry on the etcd config or something like this. Is that what happens? and then this, so they can safely be rotated out. But then you'd need to issue one bootstrap command through the API server, and it would hit one of these. You don't know which, but as long as it just hits one of them, that's fine. Is that okay? Okay, that kind of makes me feel better, actually. That makes me feel a little bit better. Pulumi provider for Talos. I might why the control plane is terminated. Things happen in AWS. Sometimes, you know, an instance gets fails a health check and it gets terminated or something. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You can't rely on things to just stay around forever. What does it say? Lets you manage shelless Linux machines. Does it have docs? Yeah. I'm starting to understand now how this bootstrap process works. So it's fine. Talos is a special Linux distribution that is designed for only running Kubernetes. Why do I pronounce hard R? In what word am I pronouncing that? Why is it adding these back? Huh. Oh, I don't know. That's how my access developed, I suppose. Good question. It's reading files outside the workspace. That's interesting how it's using Golang. Hello, village wizard. What am I trying to achieve? Setting up a Kubernetes cluster, adding some pods, and then accessing them. That's it. I haven't tried Headster, no. My PC specs are in the frequently asked questions. One of the pods I want to run is going to be a Valheim game server. And if I get that working, then maybe some other people can jump on and see it working. The diagram and the worker nodes. So if we expand out this, okay, the control plane Actually, let's go look over here. Okay. Here's the control plane expanded. It has an API server, a scheduler, a controller manager, and an etcd database. Okay. So when we create the control plane, let's say it's in an ASG and there's multiple of them. There is going to be an ALB, an NLB here, which allows access to the API server. And then we're going to run something like Talos Bootstrap. And we're going to hit the NLB. And then the request is going to hit one of the control planes in the ASG. It's then going to bootstrap it, which is going to write states to the etcd database. And then I guess all of the other ones are going to have to join up somehow, and I don't know. To be honest, I'm a little bit lost. Why don't I use EKS? Because I'm trying to learn how to manage Kubernetes. So a managed solution would mean I don't learn anything. Okay. By the way, why are you reading? Okay. ASG is autoscaling group, yes. Okay. So these will now get stored in the S3 bucket with the rest of the Pulumi state, which is way better than just copying random files. What an absolute mess that was. This rubbish. Look at this. I haven't solved that many leak code problems. The bootstrap is run after all the nodes are configured with the correct cluster address. So once one of them is bootstrapped, and the other nodes can now reach and talk. Isn't there a problem when an ASD replaces a control plane node? The new instance gets a new private IP and a new host name. That's right. That's right. And we're going to find out if that's a problem. Dynamic runner security group rules. That's fine. Kube config, generate Talos config. That looks okay. This looks more appropriate. Why? Okay, that's fine. Elastic IP, but we're not attaching an elastic. Well, so maybe you think that because right now we only have one control plane, right? But what if I put that into an ASG? Then you can't really attach an elastic IP to it. You have to put an NLB in front of it or something like that. It's doing stuff. I am inclined that once this sort of finishes, whether it's good or bad, we'll just check what happened, and then I'm going to park it, and we're going to continue this at a later time. So maybe we successfully bootstrap, maybe we don't. I'm not sure, but either way, we will pack it up in a second. Yeah. So if there's an autoscaling group, we'll have this situation where we have multiple control plane nodes that are created. They have an NLB in front of them. Worker nodes created. NLB in front of them. They're all talking back to that NLB to hit the API server that's on any one of the control planes. And let's say bootstrapping has not happened yet. I guess they're all going to try to join based on that NLB address. And it's not going to work. And then a script will come along and bootstrap at least one of the control planes. And then the others will then retry to try to join the cluster. And then maybe it gets into the correct state at that point. Maybe. That seems acceptable to me. It's false in default check. What is the record in Kubernetes? I don't know. Not sure what that is. It's going for a while. Let's see if we can see any activity in the bucket. EKS how works? Ask Jeff Bezos. He knows. Is this cost effective? I don't know. What's the EKS pricing? What the hell is this? EKS pricing. $0.10 per cluster per hour. That's support, I think. Then you've got control plane scaling. Okay. $1 per cluster. Let me see this. EC2 pricing. Let me see this. On-demand pricing, I suppose. And we want Instance type. T3. Medium. So I guess it depends on your requirements, but let's just say I'm running my control plane on a medium. That's 0.04 cents per hour. This is like, how many multiples is that? Like at least 30 times more expensive for the control plane. And then what about the workers? Can we get T3 workers? It doesn't look like you can get T3 workers. Then there's Argo CD base charges and KRO base charges and all this other stuff. So I honestly couldn't tell you what's cheaper or not. Now, this is still going, apparently. And we have our bucket with the state. Why don't I use Terraform? I wanted to learn Pulumi. Where did I buy the dog painting? Let me get you the link. Where is it? Tapato. And then just the 2 panels, please. This is the one. Cool. A lot of stuff happening in there. What is it that I would expect to see in there? It was the bootstrap or something like that. I'm trying to see that something's bootstrapped. Bootstrap token. Bootstrap token. Ciphertext. It's got stuff. I don't know. I can't tell exactly. Is it still worth getting AWS certifications? I think if you're, one, interested in how to do certain things in AWS, and you're so interested that you learn it quite well, then you might as well just get the certification, and then you can, it gives you credibility. It's still going. I wonder if this is just going to run forever. It's been going for 8 minutes. Could the I take 10 minutes while bootstrapping? I can't read this. Let's see. Yes, during a fresh install, it can take 5 to 8 minutes and occasionally 10. Node boot time, cluster bootstrap, config retrieval. Once it's thing, it handles it. What should I check for in the S3 bucket? Is it worth to have AWS certs if you already have Azure certs? Yes. Why not both? Pulumi stack. The Pulumi command is running. Logs from the control plane? It's Talos Linux. It might have some logs. Controller failed, pod status, no error, authorization error. But that might be because it hasn't bootstrapped. Waiting to join cluster. See, it's saying run bootstrap. So, what is the last thing it was trying to do? Launch template updated, updating. I think that the command is hanging because it is updating the worker LT and they might not go healthy until the bootstrap has happened. How to manage 50 plus millions requests. You could do that on like like you mean per second? Did it do something? Yeah. Worker LT depends on bootstrap code. We got to cancel this one, I think. But I want to just cancel the one job. Wait. That's fine. Just cancel. So did I say like 20 minutes ago that I was going to wrap up? My glasses, they're raw optics. Of course, this is going to fail because that it's currently locked. Ooh. Delete the lock. All right. We need workflow for deleting the lock. Oh. Answer you. How to scale 50 millions of requests. It depends, man. Like how long does each request take? Does each request complete in 1 nanosecond? Or does each request complete in a minute? Thank you guys for the blessings. Thank you. I don't want to use Opus. It's too verbose, and I don't like that. What is spam tagging? Oh, that thing? I don't know. By the way, that question's great for an LLM. Look, how do I handle 50 plus million requests per second on my Nginx with Kubernetes? I haven't really been doing much physical activity. I haven't been doing enough, to be honest. How many Jira instances? How many Jira instances? It would be. I don't know how many instances, but Jira did 50 billion requests a day. 50 million per second is quite a lot, though. 50 million a second. I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, did this fail? Unknown flag cloud URL. Cloud URL. Pulumi actions, command. It needs to be more like this, right? Stack name, default. Get rid of that. Right? Set up Pulumi. Do I even need to do that? I don't think so. Configure AWS. Set up Go. I don't think I need to do that. Right? Lead code stream. Would you guys be interested in that? While you're around, scale to 0 GPU on virtual kubelet only S3. Huh? I don't know anything about any of that. Architecture question, what's a good starting vanilla model to adopt before jumping ship to Laravel? Don't understand the question. Cancel Pulumi, run. What are these? Damn. Update. Refresh, destroy. Huh. Okay, I fucked up. I will never use Mern stack ever. Why would I do that to myself? How does it know? How does it know which bucket to cancel? Illumi cancel with cloud URL. Apparently that, but it's saying it's not supported. And in fact, the docs also said it wasn't supported. Right? There's no cloud URL here. Yeah, there's nothing. Do I just delete a file from here? Like locks. Kube stuff, default. What is this exactly? Oh, okay. I guess we could just delete the lock. Would that be fine? Why do I have two of these? Weird. Okay. Oh, I'm bad at reading, apparently. Delete the stack. Why stack? What was the no? What was this no in response to? Did I ask a question? Compiling the program. That's cool. So it's only just started. I'm using NeoVim. Oh yeah, I'm not interested in Java at all. I'll probably never write Java in my entire life, ever. What? Mern? What is Mern? JavaScript-centric collection of technologies for a full-stack application. Literally anything else. How do I make peace with all the things that can kill me in the land down under? Well, most of the really scary things are very far away from where I live. I don't like Java. I don't like JavaScript. To be honest, I don't like either of those. Tell us Bootstrap. Oh, okay. We're getting to the good bit now. The Pulumi command prints out a lot of dots in my CI/CD output. Hello from Colombia. That's cool. Suppress progress. Is that a thing? Pulumi up. I don't like C# either. What do I like? Rust, Golang, OCaml. Rust, Golang, and OCaml. Yeah, I want this one. Suppress progress. Absurd. Do I know object-oriented? I don't like object-oriented programming. I prefer imperative or functional. Illumi. Options, suppress progress. I think I have to set that. Is that right? Upsert. Cloud URL, options. Get input. Get input. Where is it? Oh yeah, I think we're good with this. And show dots in log. What's next? Are you going to build after this? Once Kubernetes is up and running and stable, then I will add a Valheim game server and then play on the game server. And once I get bored of that, I'm going to delete everything and write an article on why Kubernetes is bad and it makes me sad, and what you can do to make it less bad. And then I want to work on something else, like maybe a game or something like that. Bootstrap. It's still bootstrapping. Holy shit. All right, this is like kind of boring now, so I have to look into this, and it's a good time to end the stream. I would hate to have to look at dots all day. I have to wait for this to actually fail or time out or something, because it has to release the lock. But anyway, it's nearly 2 a.m. And so we are gonna call it, finish up. How many people do we have in here at the moment? 170. Well, thank you all for being here, and have a lovely day or night wherever you are. The next thing we'll work on after, I'll probably fix this thing off stream, and then I'll continue and we'll get the pods working and everything. So thank you all once again. See yous.